So we are going to be revising on how to factorize. So that means we are going to be looking at monic and also non-monic factorizing. This is something you should have done last year in year 10. So it's not new, but this is a really important skill that you must know under the back of your hand. So we are going to start off with simple factorizing. So this one here, we've got 10x to the power of 3y squared plus 15y to the power of 3x to the power of 2. So the first thing that I like to think about is we're going to be factorizing by grouping something out of here from these two terms. So I like to first look at my numbers. So in my terms, I've got 10 and 15. So what is a common factor and what is the highest common factor of 10 and 15? And that will be 5. So straight away, I'm just going to write down 5. The next part is I look at my letters. So in this case here, my x's, the highest amount of x's that each term has, that would be x to the power of 2. I can't take anything more out of this one. So that means, even though I've got x to the power of 3 there, I'm just going to grab x to the power of 2. What's the highest common amount of y's? The highest common amount of y's, again, I've got 2 there and 3. So that would be y to the power of 2 that is taken out. So if I take that out in the front, I'll then put brackets around and I'm leaving a good space to help me out. So then I'll look at the first one. I'm just going to put in my numbers. 5 times what is 10, 5 times 2, 5 times what is 15. And then going to look at the x's. My first term needs one more x, because x squared times x is x to the power of 3, and my other term does not need any more x's. So then I look at the y's. My first term has already got 2, but I need one more for my next one. So y squared times y to the power of 3. So that is in factorized form, 5x squared y squared in brackets 2x plus 3y. Same thing is going to occur when we have 3 terms. First thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at my numbers. I've got 14, 21, and 7. The highest that's common as a factor would be 7. I then move on and I look at the x's. So this has got 2x squared, this has got x, and this has got x to the power of 3. That means the max I can take out is just an x. Then I look at my y. Again, I've got a y squared, and y, which means I can only take out a y. I will then put brackets up again. This time I will again just do each term separately. So I will do the first term in red. 7 times what is 14? 7 times 2. I've already got one x. I just need one more x. And I've already got my y. The next one I'll do in green. 7 times what is negative 21? That'll be negative 3. I just need one more y. And I've already got my x. And then the final one is I've already got my number of 7, but I need 2 more x's. So it'll be x squared, and I've got enough y's. So then the factorized form is 7xy in brackets 2x take away 3y plus x squared. Now we're going to get into the stage of factorizing through groupings. So we do this normally when we're dealing with a monic um, or non-monic quadratic with 3 terms, but when we've got 4 terms, we can also do that as well. So in this case here, factorizing through groupings, I'm just going to underline, and then we're going to do them separately. So the first thing with x to the power 3 and 5x squared is they both have in common x squared. So I will take that x squared out. That gives me x plus 5. Now, with grouping, we like to have the brackets the same. If it's not, we might have done something wrong. But in this case here, because it's got a negative, I want everything in my bracket to be positive, so I'll take out the negative. They both have 2 and 10. The highest common factor is 2, so I'll take out negative 2. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x, and negative 2 times positive 5 is negative 10. That gives me x plus 5 in both. I can then take the x plus 5 out the front, say both have it, and then I'm just going to x squared take away 2 left. Left part. Again, we got 2x cubed plus 7x squared, take away 2x, take away 7. Same thing is going to apply here. I'll underline 2 terms each. I'll start off with 2x to the power of 3 plus 7x squared. So the first thing I notice is they both have x squared. So I'll take x squared out the front, and that leaves me 2x plus 7. Again, I want my bracket to be positive because it's too much. So I'm just going to take out negative 1. And that means I'm left with 2x plus 7. And I can check that. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. And negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. If I grab those two brackets and take that out the front, I'm left with 2x plus 7 and x squared take away 1. Okay. Your turn again. Just make sure you are pausing the video, having you go yourself, and using the video to help you if you are struggling. So again, I've got two terms. I'm just going to underline them. So in the first two terms up here, I can see that I've got x squared, that is the same. And then what's left over is I've got 3x take away 5. In the next one, I want a negative in the middle. So I will take that negative out. I'll take negative 3 out because with 9 and 15, 3 is the highest factor. So then negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, so it'll be 3x, and negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. So again, we can see that our brackets are the same, which means I can grab the 3x minus 5 out the front. So I've got 3x minus 5 in the first bracket and x squared minus 3 in the second. Moving along now. So this connects into the rules we have learned before when we were going the opposite way. So if I've got 2x take away 3y squared minus 25z squared. So this is where we can use the difference of two squares. So to start off with, I'm just going to rewrite it as 2x minus 3y squared, and the 25 will be 5z in brackets squared. Then if I'm going to rewrite this, I'm going to use this rule, which is a squared minus b squared is equal to a minus b, a plus b. So the next step is I'm going to then look at my a, and my a is 2x minus 3y, and my b is 5z. So take away 5z, 2x take away 3y plus 5z. The next step is checking to see if we can simplify, which in this case we can't, so we just leave as that. Again, this is a very similar question. Pause the video, have a go yourself, but I'm going to just rewrite it now using the difference of two squares rule. So that means that 9 will turn into 3, and I've got 3a squared, and then I've got b take away 4c in my bracket squared. So I'm not going to, I will actually write the whole rule again. A squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b, a minus b. The next step that I will do is I look at the a value. The a value is 3a. So I'll go 3a plus b minus 4c and 3a equal. Now for this part, I'm just, because it's takeaway, I'm just going to put this part in a bracket. The reason why I've done that is because sometimes when we're taking away this, we can get confused with our negatives. The other one didn't matter so much because we're adding, and a positive will be positive, and positive and a negative will be a negative. So it hasn't changed anything. If you can do it in one step, yeah, by all means go for it. But small mistakes will lose you marks, and it's important to focus on being accurate as possible, and sometimes that does mean doing extra steps. So the next bracket is we've got 3a, and this will be a negative b, and negative is a positive, so it'll be plus 4c. Okay, so there are two methods you can use. You can use groupings, or we can use the cross method. It is entirely to you. I'm going to start off using the is cross method, and then I'm going to check it by using the groupings. Most people do prefer the use of the groupings, and that is absolutely fine. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is we need these two amounts here to times to equal A. We need these two amounts to times to equal C. And I'll connect it with the grouping method as well after. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at my 8x squared. So we've got x, so they both are going to have an x. The issue that you'll struggle with is this part here with the 8. So that 8 part, we can think of many different ways to times to equal 8. We could have 1 times 8, or we could have 2 times 4. Both of those could be used. But let's just check. If I go to C, two numbers that times together to equal C, well, we've got a negative there. So be mindful of that. But we also do know that it has to only be 1 and 3, and one of those were negative. This part here will give us our b values. And if we add those together, we will have our bx. So be mindful. So I'm just going to stick with 2 and 4. This is a bit of trial and error. Then we need to add up to 10. I can see here 1 times 4, and I can see I've got 2 times 3. So, well, we've only got one negative. So this is going to give us 10 positive, but as soon as I put a negative there, it's not going to equal to negative 10x. So what I'm going to do quickly, this is where I will erase this 2 and 4, and I'll switch them around. So this time I'm going to put a 4 here and I put a 2 here. I'm going to make this negative 3. Let's double check. 4 times 4x times negative 3 is negative 12x. 2x times 1 equals 2x. And they equal negative 10x. So I've just got mine. So I can then put this here. And let's double check everything else. 2x times 4x equals 8x squared, which is my A. 1 times negative 3 is my C area. So I've got my answer, which is 4x plus 1, 2x take away 3, because this is grouped. So I'm just now going to erase this part here.